There has never been a motion picture like The Big Dollhouse.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Medium Cool Show. Today, we have an absolute banger of a video because we're traveling back to the year 1971 and we're taking a trip all the way to the Philippines. And that film is The Big Dollhouse.
Women locked behind walls of concrete and steel, guarded by barbed wire and guns in a tropical hell. They call it The Big Dollhouse.
As you guys know, recently, a movie maverick producer, filmmaker legend just passed away at the ripe age of 98. That man is Roger Corman. He produced this film that we're going to be talking about today with one of the first time performances from legendary actress / actor in the Grindhouse era wave peak, Pam Grier. And The Big Dollhouse was directed by Jack Hill, who did a lot of these films with Pam Grier. I think he kind of like brought her on and discovered her and everything. And
really?
Yeah. This was like his first kind of real hit. And it was also...
He did a lot with Roger Corman too, right? Like just in general, he was kind of Roger Corman's like go-to guy.
Yeah, Jack Hill and Roger Corman worked with Samuel R. Arkoff, who was, the head of American International Pictures, which was kind of the originator of these sort of like the B-movie things that they made. And then he started his own production company, which is New World Pictures. The Big Dollhouse is the first picture in New World Pictures. Whether or not you like this movie, it was like a really, really big hit. And it kind of started like the wave of women in prison exploitation films, because like there was a whole wave of them that came out after that.
Yeah. Did Female Prisoner, what's that called? When did that come out?
I think it came out like 72, 73. And that was in Japan.
Yeah.
Another exploitation film. Women in prison films. What do you think about this film in regards to women in prison films?
It's definitely like 70s models prison film.
Yeah.
It's like a prison escape movie, but with 70s models. And so it has this 70s vibe, and they get gross and like mud and stuff, but it's like still, they always keep it like sexy, you know what I mean? They're like definitely like looking for that look.
Yeah.
So it's not like realistic, it's not like Brawl on Cell Block 99. It's like the models come first, then the story. And I feel like that was their motto, like making this film. Yeah,
because as a story, the film is very basic, but you have all of the elements of an exploitation film. You have sexy women, you got like slash nudity, you have violence, which is a fucking key thing, slash violence slash action, and then you also have like drug use and shit. That's like basically the main like three things with like exploitation is kind of like sex, drugs, and violence is what you have to have. Samuel Arkoff had a list with using his names. Like it was like ARKOFF, and it was like all this like what you needed to like have like an exploitation hit.
Really?
And I think it kind of meets all of those. But speaking of the story, we have a group of women in basically sharing like a cell right in this prison. It's kind of like a labor prison or whatever.
In the Philippines. They're all Americans, but they're in the Philippines.
Yeah, they're all in the Philippines, and they get tortured by this one woman.
Yeah, the head mistress or whatever, the warden of the prison.
Played by Catherine Loder. She tortures them, and then there's like this hooded figure that watches them, like some overlord weird thing. It's kind of interesting. I would say that this film kind of it's a little bit slow in some places. It doesn't have that kind of Pam Grier punch to it as later Jack Hill films would be, like Coffee, Foxy Brown, and Switchblade Sisters, which are like very, very concise films. Coffee being like the best one, I think, out of the blaxploitation genre and Pam Grier. Besides like Jackie Brown, but that's obviously an homage to like these films.
Yeah.
But we also have Sid Haig in this, who's like a big a big star of like 70s, 80s, and then, you know, later came in with those Rob Zombie pictures.
Mm-hmm. Which was so funny because we didn't realize until the very end. We're like, oh, that's why he's so familiar.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he brings too much to the table. Like, this one was, while it was a hit, it was kind of, until the end where they had like the big action set piece in the jungle, which was cool. There wasn't too much crazy shit going on. I mean, I like the part with the snake. If you remember when she like tries to plant the snake with the thing. Mm-hmm. What do you want to say? Yeah, I think I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, you have. No, I like it. You're giving like really interesting facts.
Yeah, and I'm going to get more facts. I just want you to talk.
It definitely drags on. They definitely try to like make it a prison escape movie, and there's all these different dynamics that the women share with one another. Like Pam Grier is kind of like, you know, she becomes like one of the alphas in the cell, and she takes the main girl under her wing, and she's like, all right, you're gonna be my bitch. You're gonna do things for me, watch my back, you know, and in turn I'll take care of you. Mm-hmm. And then there kind of becomes this power struggle between Pam Grier and some other girls in the cell of like who is going to be the alpha in the cell, right? Mm-hmm. And like who they're gonna follow. And eventually Pam Grier loses in like a mud fight, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna escape. And then suddenly all the girls in the cell are in on it. Except there's their one downfall, and there's this girl who's this junkie in the cell.
Yeah.
Who can't get off these drugs, and Pam Grier like keeps getting her these drugs because she's like, well, I'm taking care of you, so I have to get you these drugs. Yeah. You know, she feels responsible for this girl. Eventually, this girl just ends up fucking up, and like, would she kill Pam Grier?
She kills Pam Grier, yeah.
Yeah, which is like crazy. And then that just sets off the chain of emotions where they just pretty much all of them die, you know, trying to escape. But also there's this other thing where it's like, it's a female prison. There are these guys that bring in like goods and like, you know, they'll bring cigarettes to you and stuff like that. But in exchange for cigarettes, they like either want money or they want to like feel them up.
Yeah, or get like a hand HJ.
Yeah, or like
through the bars.
Yeah, through the bars.
Like through the bar HJ, dude.
Yeah, that's where like the peak exploitation comes in right there, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, what if it's a female prison movie, but all these men are like, and they're all so fucking horny, you know? Yeah. And they all want to be with a guy, and there's two guys that enter the prison, you know? Like, yeah. And that's like peak exploitation writing, Roger Corman touch right there.
Yeah, well, you know, there was apparently they did shoot a lesbian sex scene that they cut out of the movie.
Really?
Yeah. And apparently, Catherine Loder, who plays the sort of Nazi head, almost died making this movie. Like I don't know what happened. She had like some sort of thing. Like she had to go to the hospital. Like almost died.
Jesus.
And they had to like stop the production or some shit. I don't know what it was.
Jesus.
I think there are better. Like I'm a fan of Pam Grier. I would want to watch. Obviously, I want to see some more of these women in prison films. But I think like on this channel, I think we should maybe watch Coffee sometime because that movie goes hard. It's like fucked up, but it's like really, really good. And it has like it's super entertaining. And that's the thing about these exploitation films is that I love it when, you know, they're just trying to make a sleazy exploitation film and like kind of like a cheap thrill. But then sometimes they become so elevated. Mm-hmm. And like at first you're watching them and you're just thinking to yourself, what the fuck? This is like so sleazy. But then there's like a hook point. Yeah. Where you like invested in this like little sleazy exploitation film, you know?
Yeah.
And they're actually really entertaining and have a viscera to them that movies I feel like nowadays don't really have, you know? Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the charm of the 70s is because the Hays Code was totally free. Studios were kind of like, they just kind of let people make what they made, and people wanted to see these kind of B movie. Some of them became elevated.
Yeah.
That at first that no one would have thought they would be, you know? Roger Corman, R.I.P. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, you know, I want to keep watching more Roger Corman movies because they're funny, and he is like kind of a trailblazer for a lot of what we see today. Definitely, you know, underrated in terms of his like impact on films. But I really want to see like Piranha, something like that. You know, keep on rocking.
Yeah, guys, what other Roger Corman New World picture should we watch next? Or should we watch an American International picture? Let us know what kind of exploitation films you like to watch down in the comments below. You have been watching the Medium Cool Show, and until next time, we'll see you later.